All right. Well, I'm going to come in a little bit more friendly than I normally do, a little less hype. I'm going to try a little bit of a different style as far as casting my game goes. I'm going to try and actually explain a bit more, be a bit more in depth, be a bit more focused. Don't miss any of the finer, more beautiful details. So this one will be a little longer. Um, I will, to the friends who are going to see this, I will recommend certain times to skip through if you don't want to just listen to me talk. That's totally understandable. But this is me trying to practice and get into the mind of actually casting my games as if it's for an audience that's intended to watch it as those that show, not just show some cool clips to my friends. Which, to be fair, I will also, this is a mental note for myself, but I want to start creating short clips out of these games. That way I can show friends, but also because that's really the avenue that entertainment goes these days. It's short clips, short, easy to consume content that doesn't take too much of your day, so you can just keep on scrolling. But anyway, enough of that. Back to the game. So I'm Spanish. I'm always Spanish. If you've ever heard me talk about this game, I always pick the Spanish. I love them. Interesting little tidbit. You can build 3 houses that start as Spanish, one with each villager, because you build 30% faster, so you'll complete the house before the first villager completes, which would usually pop cap you if you don't have a house down yet. And so usually with any other civ, you need 2 vills on one house, 1 vill on the other house. You build 2, and then you start eating your first sheep to get your food income to create your villagers. But Spanish, they're unique because of that little bonus they have, so I get to build 3 houses all at once, which helps because usually by the time you're building the 3rd house is the same time you're going to berries and the same time you're grabbing your boar, and so it's this trifecta that can usually result in a dead build, especially if you don't opt for getting your loom at a good time. As you can see, I already have loom. I got it, I believe, before I even grabbed my first boar. Yeah, I already have. Oh. No, I think it's in the queue or whatever. Yeah, it's in the queue of the TC. But I usually get loom pretty early on because I'm terrible with boar lures. I'm very easily distracted, very tunnel visioned at times when I play, and I'm also not very good with build orders and such. So oftentimes that's a struggle for me. So I get loom to protect my villagers' lives. Um, Point proven right over here. So on the other side of the map, to look at the enemy, Tio Mo. I might be saying that wrong. He's got a very nice build order. 5 on wood, like you're supposed to do for a dock when it's a water map, as this is. There's lots of water. And so you get the dock fill up right around this time, get your first fishing ship going because you have enough wood income for the fishing ship. Me, I accidentally took one of my woodvilles off of here, so I only have 4 on, and I realize that now, so I'm compensating by putting 7 on. And this vill also, who was tasked to the shore fish, to wait for when I had the wood for a dock, walked all the way back to the TC. Not to mention I also built a house earlier than I needed to, which was the reason I didn't have enough the dock, plus the vill that came off the wood, blah 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 blah. But that's how like neat and perfect it has to be. Like you really got to have the numbers down and everything, like as far as how many vills on what and when, to have a really efficient economy. Because now he's gonna have 2 fishing ships by the time I'm getting my first one out, and that gives him an immediate little eco lead there. Not to mention I got loom earlier, so he was a little bit ahead of me of that as well. Well, in all, not too bad. Idle TC time, he's actually lost technically a vill to idle TC time, and as I'm saying this, my TC is idle right now because I am, yes, bringing him in a boar. And it's probably going to keep being idle, like it's already switched this back. Whoops, changed my color. Bear with me. I think it was purple. I hope it was purple. I'm sorry if it wasn't. That was great. Yeah. Put this back. So yeah, now idle TC time, which is the time when the TC is not producing.
Yes.
It's at 46 seconds. I literally paused there actually because I was so close to losing the boar. I said I would focus on the finer details, but I'm kind of getting lost in a rabbit hole. But yeah, this guy almost died here. It was actually a really sick save that I really should have. Once again, I missed a key moment in my own video. That's unfortunate. But yeah, he almost died. So what I actually did, so he was coming back from this hill, and right as the boar was about to get his final hit on my villager, I placed the house. And once your guy goes to hit the house, it de-aggroes the boar boar, and he started to walk around the house. My bill was here, so I could shoot him again without him going all the way back. Brought him back, got that bill into TC and out of it to de-aggro him from that bill, and shot him down with the rest of the bills. But my build is just a mess. I mean, I was housed there for a bit. I now have a full minute idle TC time. I went up honestly too early, maybe in the sense of like just being underprepared for what build I needed, but all in all, not too bad, because as you can see up in the top right, he's up to feudal, I'm up to feudal. Relatively same time, he just didn't have the idle TC time that I had. Not as much anyway. I'll zoom out a bit. But yeah, he's walling up. He's got 2 docks, so usually from what I see in all the pro games and stuff like that, they're going for 2 docks into fire galleys or war galleys to take out the opponent's fish. We both went for 3 fishing ships. Mine was a bit more unintentional. I think he's very purposeful as he's got 2 fire ships right off the bat. I know this, and I'm trying to adjust my eco now. Like, I'm thinking about getting dock up with this guy. I'm also thinking about the possibility of land aggression because I was later. You know, I don't have any walls. All these things are coming into play. But I'm also really late to gold, so I can't even afford to at the same time. So I didn't quite go for the docks yet. Yeah, he's about to have 2 coming out of the dock right now, and I'm only halfway to 1. So, Scout does get in here, way from the other side of the map, actually. I can now show my point of view. So this is what I see so far. You know, I just kind of clicked him over there. I don't have the APM actions per minute to really micro the Scout super well, so often I would lose him to the TC. I'm really lucky I did it there. Actually, he ends up helping out a lot. But yeah, he's already got 3 more fire ships behind this. I'm just, you know, barely able to squeeze 2 out of this dock. But I use the fishing ships to kind of lure the fire ship that way so I can get some extra hits. And I've seen this all the time. 1 Vil can out-repair 2 fire ships on 1. So I pull him back there, and he has to pull back because he's not getting an even trade there. His reinforcements are coming, so are mine. So far, I've actually gotten away with getting an extra fishing ship, which is nice because that's the only food economy I have. Because again, I'm not good at balancing my eco. I placed a mill, nobody's on the berries. If you look at him, he's got a better, like he placed this later, and he actually has the bills on the berry because it was time to do that. All his, you know, no bills on the TC, no farms because he's relying on the fish and the berries for his food economy right now. And we're all focused on trying to get wood and gold primarily for these fire ships to protect our fish, because that's our primary source of food economy, which is usually how the water maps go. And at this elo we're about 1200. The balancing and transitioning of the eco is going to be very difficult. As you can see, he's trying to wall up. You know, he's scared of outside pressure as well as far as land aggression goes. I am going to speed up. I said I wouldn't, but I am, because this part, personally, I've always found boring in normal games, but I'm not great at the water. You know, I get a decent trade there, but like I've given up on it at this point. I put 1 in here because I was thinking about still going. I'm gonna put 1 in here, and then I'm just like, well, I'll just fake him out, make him overinvest. And wow, holy shit, did he? Wow. Because I was thinking about going Castle Age at this point. I will show you the market here in a second, but he's going to be up to like 11 fire galleys, so he really invested to really make sure he had water. I even just run my fishing ships over around. But I guess at this point, no, I was still thinking about trying to get in with scouts. This guy actually does get in. He does get a Vil pick. That's really annoying for him. But yeah, going for scouts. Don't really have the food economy though, and I realize that. And I'm greedy. I always got to get horse collar. It gives more food on the farms, and I love that. I don't like my farms expiring super early, especially since I also leave the reseed farm on, which makes your villagers automatically reseed a farm. If you ever played this game a long time ago, Nick, Gavin, you know, you'd have to click each individual farm to reseed it with a villager. But they made a button in HD where you could just press that and, you know, your farms reseed on their own. I always press that because I'll forget, and then it's a stressor to put it back on, and then all my farms are not reseeding, blah, blah, blah. I hate that. I always float a lot of wood too. But yeah, look on the left side. I'm just abusing that market. Boom. Resources, Castle Age, 800 food, 200 gold. and I'm up. And I'm at this point, I'm thinking just castle drop. Like, I don't know what he has back here. I know his economy is going to be better than mine because I assumed he started making more fish, which he did. And so my eco's way behind. It's now 43 to 36. Idle TC time is pretty even between the two of us. I'm also scared of pressure because I'm having trouble balancing my eco. I can't afford anything. So I shift everyone over to this gold from the mining camp. And I send a few villagers forward here. And I'm thinking about just placing a castle. At first it was going to be a tower, and then I was like, well, I'll just wait for castle age. Place a castle on this gold. Hopefully deny this gold with it as well. And then just move in with conchs and shit. You know, because I have food and gold economy. Not a lot, but enough to produce conquistadors out of 1 TC. Oh, he's going fast imp. That was his intention from the beginning. For what? Man, I thought it was weird that he was up to imp so fast. Oh boy, and he just got, wow, holy, he just bought all that, holy shit. So what he did with the market just now is he used a shit ton of gold to buy this castle. He had no stone, which is really expensive. And then the rest of his resources to go up to imp, and considering he's Italians and it's cheaper, he was able to do so. But holy moly. Man, if only I'd kept my scouts alive and had them over here. I should have pressured from this side. Well, I guess in retrospect, either side works. It's just he put a castle here, so I couldn't really go anywhere. But either way, I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to start massing conchs. I don't know what he's going to have or when. I didn't know about this. He's putting a siege workshop over here. And I'm still just trying to balance my economy. I'm honestly not sure what I'm going to do at this point, and that's when I'm like, okay, well then I should boom. I thought he would have been immediate 3 TC boom. I'm seeing now he wasn't. And his idle TC time went up a little bit there too with all the stress. But I have in the back of my mind he's going to be up to imp just because of the fish food. They bring in a lot of food, and what do you know, he's up to imp. So I'm like, okay, well he's going to have trebs, he's going to treb down this castle, whatever, just keep producing conchs, get what I can out of it. I'm still worried that he's going to come into my land, that's why I placed this TC over here. Then the arrow fire kind of connects, this area is pretty secure. This is still really vulnerable. But, you know, what else can I do? I'm really in the dark here. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's doing. I was confused that I wasn't getting trebbed down immediately. He's still just leaning hard on that market. As am I. I can't talk, but I really thought he had a way better economy, but he's just slapping bills on gold and everything. At this point, my economy is really not that ill-balanced, you know, for what I'm going for, which is just conquistadors at this time. I need some food income, but not a lot. I should definitely have more, and that's what I realize now as I transition a bunch of people from wood and stone over to farms. But he only just now has the trip, you know? Minutes and minutes after getting to Imperial Age. Like, he could have had this castle down a long time ago, taken all these resources safely. You know, wouldn't have been forced out here. And he's not really hurting me. He's not pushing me. Like, never once has he really been in my base. He's got all this water control, but like at this point, these fishing ships with the distance they have to travel, granted they're still decent. They do bring in a lot of food. You know, his food's about to spike up with them all bringing in, but it's really slow. I mean, this is normal speed. Look at that. Good God, man, the bird flies faster than you. Yeah, it's soaring. But so I'm just falling back into eco. This is what I do. Eco is what I got, and I'm like, okay. I believe at this point, yeah, I scouted this, and I'm like, well, I need light cap. I need something. I don't know what he had. At one point, I don't know if it happened already, but I did run a light cap in through here. And I saw that he had like fucking 10 monks. I was like, 1,000 golden monks? I mean, yes, please. And he's probably got some upgrades. Like, I'll chew that with light cap all day. Light cap counter monks every day. So I just started upgrading them, and I lost this castle. Only had this one, so I'm like, I can't rely on conchs. But I'm still making them. I know the power of conchs now. I respect it. It's pretty nice, so I like to stick to it. But go ahead and speed it up a little bit more. The mic's like right where the speed button is. But yeah, I mean, especially now, like his fish is just, I mean, all the bumping and everything. That's his main food economy. Whereas I've really transitioned into farms. I now have 36 farms down. He's only got 18 because he's relying on this fish. Which, again, it's not a bad thing. I mean, he won fish. This is the reward to fish. But I think what would have really benefited him if he just kept docking the sides, it would have kept it really efficient. and then he can creep in with the fortifications like he's doing and really benefit from that. But I also think, honestly, just pushing me early on, once, you know, this failed, but I guess he was more scared than I was, to a degree. But here, let me slow this down. So I know something's coming from up here. So I intentionally sent down my conks and 2 rams. That's all I could afford. I believe I got capped. Yeah, I got capped rams. And I know this is coming in. Like, I literally have an outpost here. I'm sending light cav to deal with it. They're going to target the bomber cans first. And I'm like, oh boy, I can just snipe. There's like 20 vills here. And I can try and take down this castle. I'm getting the final armor on my conks. They have bloodlines, they have husbandry, they have all their upgrades other than elite. I thought I was within the castle range here. This hurts. Ouch. Ouch. Okay. And that's why you need murder holes. Because now I'm out of range of the castle. The castle has a minimum range of 0, or 1 I believe, so it can't hit 0 range, which is at its base. But the light cav did work. I believe, yeah, kill all his monks. His monks were in there. He must have been paying attention to this the same time I was. And I killed his bomber cannons too. And he's going to raid me, but something else that I didn't point out. I'm Spanish, and Spanish get supremacy vills, which makes the vills just absolute tanks. Look at these monsters. Look at these monsters. 80 HP. His Condottiero and elite, well, not elite. His units, his military has the same HP as my villagers. Let me see this. 10 to 1. What's a vill? So he has 2 more attack, and the vills literally have more armor. So the vills are literally stronger than the units that he's pouring into my base. And I have TCs and castles everywhere at this point, so they're getting mopped up. I maybe should have ballistics at this point, but I do have bracer, so they're doing a lot of damage. Bracer adds damage to your arrow fire, by the way. But I ended up taking this castle down with the conks. So many dead vills. I mean, now the eco KD's up to 30. He's only killed 5 of mine. I mean, and 4 of that was fishing ships. So he killed 1 vill in all that raid. All that military that you saw pouring into my base killed 1 vill. And granted, there's still some idle time spiking up for me, and things are still a mess, but I mean, they're alive. I'm not having to spend food wasting on trying to get them back up. And right now, I actually have the Vildi. He just has fishing ships, which they're actually really efficient right now, so that's going to give him a huge food spike. He did redock over there. But these guys are getting so much value. I mean, I took down a whole TC, taking down more buildings, took down a castle, and now I'm just massacring vills. But he's bringing back the... What are these scrims? They look different. Okay, they're just elite scrims. But yeah, so I mean, that was crazy push. And he's now got cannon galleon, but like everything that I built, for the most part, save this TC, is out of range. All my castles are up on the hill. And I didn't really do that intentionally, but that's just where the resources were, so that's where I put the castles. But thank God I did, because if Cannon Galleon could reach all my castles, that would have weakened me for sure. I'm trying to find what's going on here. Ram's still going. Yeah, these conks, they're destined to die. I actually didn't pay a lot of attention to them, so before I speed past it, this is kind of what I'm focusing on. I'm moving up here with some light cav. I'm thinking about pushing up here. I'm getting Hussar. I'm like balancing my eco just to get upgrades for the cav to make sure they're as strong as they can be. Because all I'm seeing is skirm. And then I should have seen this. This is where I was kind of looking away. Really just looking at that. And I was like, fuck, I don't even have the wood. I thought it was gold, but it was like, I don't even have the wood for siege. So I got sappers in case my vills could just maybe take out the castles. I knew he still didn't have murder holes after what I saw earlier. He probably didn't get it. But see, now his fishing ships are just all idle. And spoiler, he does fish trap this, but god, that must have taken so long to place, because you can't place them as easily as farms. It's difficult to explain, but pretty much you can just kind of like hold shift and then just click, 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 click a farm down. I don't believe you can do that with fishing traps unless they change that. But here I am. I'm preparing for the late game at this point. I'm trying to get these relics. I'm on a trash comp, which is just, you know, Hussar. I just lost all my conks up here, so I know they're useless. Okay, nope, I lied. With the way he just placed that, it must be much easier to place them at this point. But that's still a lot of focus he's got to spend on that. And it's not even going to be efficient. Sappervilles, these absolute monsters. I mean, they're stronger than these pikemen. They'll fuck the pikemen up. Unfortunately, what it is like, you got to grab a vills and then just click one pikeman. So it's like, it's really not effective fighting. Like, I can't patrol into here. See how they're just bumping? They're not punching anybody because I just selected one guy and they're going after that one guy. But that one dude, I mean, he's getting his... Are we going to see a pikeman get knocked out by a vill? No, unfortunately not. This is just a mess, though. But yeah, I mean, there's so many skirms here. And then pikemen against fully upgraded Hussar, I mean, they don't have the final armor, which is unfortunate on my part, but I mean, his pikemen aren't fully upgraded with their attack, which isn't the important part for pikemen either, but still. Those things do help. But, I mean, his eco is just shit now. Those raids really hurt. I mean, it took all of this out. They moved it all up here. I mean, these guys aren't even protected by the castles or TCs or nothing. And here's my Hussar. So I started thinking, like, maybe I should ram him down. Like, I really don't know. And I'm still, like, concerned at this stage of the game. Like, I'm feeling a lot better. And I'm kind of seeing where this might be able to go. But at this point, I was still pretty worried on what he might be capable of. But I decided, if he's going to have trash, I didn't know if he had halb or not. I don't know tech trees or other civs. I just play Spanish. But I was like, you know, he might have halb. And regardless, all I'm seeing is pike and skirm, which will get absolutely destroyed by Paladin and these Genovese crossbowmen, even though they're supposed to be good against cavalry. They have bonus damage against cavalry and, like, you know, maybe his condotieros, but it's like all that gets smashed by Paladin. Paladin is such a strong unit because it's so expensive, but like I've got 4,000 gold to bank because I've just been spending it all on these guys. And I've been mining gold for quite some time, man. There was a pile here, there was a pile here, I believe there was a pile, no. Yeah, down here. But I've got plenty of gold. And I've been saving it. The only thing I really spent it on was like conquistadors and one treb. And so I send these guys in to go raid. Because I'm like, that worked really well last time. And I'm going to throw him in disarray. And I'm buying myself time. Because I know he can push me here once again. These vills, we're never going to be able to take out this castle. It's just not how it works. And so I just start waiting for the Paladin. I used the market a little bit. I got Paladin upgrade. And something I learned from watching the pros again was to split up your raids. So I sent a little group here, move the group on, send a little group there, move the group on. I believe I sent some back, and then I send another. I see this. I scroll down, I see this because my outpost is still here. And I believe a mining camp here. No? Huh. Yeah, I know I can see some of it with that outpost because I got town patrol as well. I really like that site. One treb trying to defend. But yeah, I've got Paladin coming in. I did shoot the stable way back here so it wouldn't get destroyed like that one. And I'm like, I've got the gold. I've got the food income for now. I'm just going to mass Paladin and see if they can win me the games. I've seen Paladin take down castles before. And I knew they could happen again. I believed that he still didn't have murder holes. I knew that his military wouldn't be stronger than full Paladin with full upgrades. I've already got 20 of them. Now we'll speed through to get to the good part. These guys are still causing some annoyance. Not much. Yeah, let's skip forward to get to the good stuff. I started thinking about Siege Ram again, but I never actually ended up using that. I believe I even canceled it at some point. So I'm just spamming. Now I'm up to 40 Paladin. I mean, dude, Paladin just Shrek. He's got so many trebs too. What a shame. 5 trebs. All this water control, all the fish is gone, but it's doing him no good. Because again, he can't comfortably take this. He's getting raided non-stop. I mean, he lost, oh my god, he lost like 40 vills in those raids. Holy. Sorry to look away from the battle. But, yes, I missed the shrekking of the Paladin. Oh, by the way, I also built a random bomber cannon that had been taking this down, which was about as sudden as he saw it. And you'll miss it, but down here, he ends up actually saying, well, you're not going to see it because it was after the game, but he was like, what do you say, Que malo soy, which is, I am so mad. And I was like, why are you so mad? But I believe it was this, the sneaky bombard cannon. I mean, that must have shot it like 20 times to take it down. I mean, a bombard cannon only does like 80 to 100 damage or something like that on a castle, and there's 48. So yeah, like almost 50 shots to take down a castle, and he just never noticed. He was so focused on like trying to push me, and then he saw Paladin in his face, and he was getting raided. I mean, down to 34 vills now. Holy, like, time to ream boom, my guy. Yeah, the Hussar raids, he literally just couldn't deal with it. And it was, to be fair, it was very good timed. I mean, when I came in with the conks here on his gold and took out a castle, took out a TC, that was extremely disruptive. You had to move all this eco. And then not long after, I believe when he first came in for raids and stuff, I came in with my own raids, and I believe the conks were still in his base. No, the conks were the first time he attacked, that's right. And then later on, I just periodically came back with Light Cav and Hussar. And still a lot of damage. Insane amount of damage. I mean, how many vills by the end of that? Yeah, 88. He killed 36. But like, me losing vills was a difficult 36, and a lot of them were right here actually to the cannon galleons. So I just left them there. I mean, it's gold within range of it. I gotta take it anyways. But I mean, my eco's not great either, you know. But it was good enough, and I saved enough gold anyway to just ram in a paladin. I mean, I have 60 paladin now. You're not stopping that. There's very few compositions that can stop that. Full halb, maybe, if you've got 100 of them, and then I just engage against them for no reason, but which I've done, stupidly. I had to find out the hard way. Paladin will still lose to Halbertier. It does counter it like it's supposed to. But yeah, it was a really good game. Really good game. So, let me know what you think about the longer form of casting, about a bit more laid back, not so rushed. This is an awesome game. Can't put too much hype into it. It wasn't one of my best or anything, but it was definitely creative with the attacks and the timings. And it proves that ratings, I mean, it's a lot easier to attack than to be attacked. That's what I thought of at the end of this game. That's exactly the words that came to my head. As actually, even my starting TC was in range of those cannon galleons, so they did range quite a bit. But if you look at the map, I actually have a thicker landmass on my side, which is really beneficial considering I lost water. But I also think I utilized the land, and honestly, had he done one simple thing and just stonewalled here, and then just like stonewalled here, game over. Like thick stone walls, thick fucking multi-layered, you're never getting in stone walls to just prevent any raid, because there's no way I'm transporting. He owns the water. You know, he's even got stuff here making sure that I can't dock. I never even paid attention to it. Ever since I lost in Feudal Age, I knew my only chance was on land. So that's where all my attacks were, and he wasn't ready for them. So, GG. It's fun casting. I'll catch you next time.